Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping back to the very beginning, the start of it all for Harry Potter.
Right, those first few really peculiar days leading up to his arrival in the wizarding world.
Exactly. We're going to be looking closely at excerpts from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, digging for those key moments, the little clues that really set everything up.
And this is perfect for listeners who like to get that deep understanding quickly, those aha moments.
Yeah, it's about seeing the significance in those early details, how they build the foundation for this huge story.
It's like looking at the blueprint. We start with the Dursleys, their totally normal Tuesday. Or so they think.
Okay, let's dive in. So the scene opens. It's the Dursleys, committed to being normal, right? Just a regular Tuesday morning.
Yeah, Mr. Dursley's off to work, choosing the most boring tie possible. Dudley's having a tantrum. Standard stuff.
But then, almost straight away, there's this tiny detail. A big tawny owl just flies past the window, completely unnoticed.
And the Dursleys are determined not to notice anything unusual.
Then Mr. Dursley's on his drive, and he sees, well, he thinks he sees a cat reading a map.
Which is just brilliant, isn't it? That immediate contrast. The mundane versus the magical just crashing together.
What do you make of that? How he reacts?
Well, it immediately shows that tension, doesn't it? Their desperate need for normality clashing with the magic that's starting to seep in.
He tries so hard to rationalize it.
Oh, absolutely. It's a trick of the light, or he's imagining things. He hates imagination. He tries to ignore the whispers about the Potters, too.
It really shows how uncomfortable he is with anything outside his, tiny box of normal.
Definitely. And it doesn't stop there, does it?
No way. That same cat, the tabby, it's on his garden wall later, and he feels like it's staring at him.
Yeah, he even questions himself for a second.
Yeah.
Then the news reports owls flying during the day all over the country.
And shooting stars. People are seeing shooting stars. It's like the whole world is trying to tell them something.
But they just dig their heels in deeper. It's almost like these gentler signs are preparing the way, before Hagrid shows up.
So why start with these almost whimsical things?
I think it builds that atmosphere, that anticipation. Their little bubble is about to burst.
And that conversation he has with Petunia later about her sister.
Mm.
It's so strained.
Oh, completely. You feel the dread when he even thinks the name Potter, and his relief that they wouldn't possibly come near them. It speaks volumes about their fear, their prejudice.
It really does. Okay, so then the perspective shifts. We move away from Mr. Dursley's viewpoint.
Right, and we're on Privet Drive at night. We see Dumbledore.
And he's talking to Professor McGonagall, who it turns out was the cat.
Yep, the very same tabby cat Mr. Dursley saw, reading a map and staring at him.
Their conversation starts to explain things about it. Harry Potter is coming to live with the Dursleys.
And McGonagall is not happy about it. She has serious reservations.
Understandably. She points out how awful they are, how non-magical.
But Dumbledore is firm. There is only family left. It raises questions, doesn't it, about that decision?
Yeah, the weight of it. Putting him in that environment. For his protection, maybe, but still.
The long-term consequences, exactly. It sets up so much of his early struggle.
And then Hagrid arrives, this huge, imposing figure carrying baby Harry.
With the scar already visible, that lightning bolt. Such an iconic image right from the start.
The farewell is so sad, so quiet. Dumbledore leaves him on the doorstep with just a letter.
Just a letter tucked in his blankets. It's quite a stark image. The end of one chapter, the start of a pretty bleak one for Harry.
What do you think that letter actually said? Or maybe, what difference did it make?
Well, it must have explained the situation. Pleaded for his care, maybe. But clearly the Dursleys either ignored it or twisted it, given how they raised him.
Yeah, keeping everything secret for so long, it's like a missed chance for any kind of understanding.
Definitely. And then we see Harry living there, and the contrast is just, wow.
It's jarring. He's small, skinny, knobbly knees, messy black hair he can't control.
Always wearing Dudley's huge hand-me-downs. And those taped-up glasses.
A constant reminder of Dudley, yeah. And the #1 rule, don't ask questions.
It's like they're actively trying to crush any curiosity or spark out of him. A childhood deliberately made dull.
And Dudley is just spoiled beyond belief. Remember his birthday, the mountain of presents?
While Harry gets shipped off to Mrs. Figg, who he can't stand, it highlights the unfairness so brutally.
Even his relief when she breaks her leg. It shows how miserable he was.
And they talk about him like he's not even human, like a slug or something nasty they stepped in. It's incredibly cruel.
How do you think that kind of treatment shaped him later on?
Well, it's hard to say exactly, but it certainly builds resilience, maybe,
Yeah.
but also that deep desire for belonging, for family.
Yeah. But even in that awful environment, things start happening around him. Strange things.
Right. The zoo incident, the boa constrictor, the vanishing glass.
Our first real hint of his magic, isn't it? Just bubbling up unconsciously.
Exactly. And it happens when he's upset or angry. Escaping Dudley's gang, the hair growing back overnight.
Setting the snake on Dudley, it's like his magic is fighting back for him.
It's a defense mechanism almost. A sign of the power inside him trying to get out despite the Dursleys' best efforts to squash it.
Which makes you wonder if their suppression actually made it more unpredictable.
Could be. And then the letters start.
Oh, the letters. So many letters. Addressed specifically to him, Mr. H. Potter. The cupboard under the stairs.
And Uncle Vernon's reaction is just priceless. Increasingly frantic,
Yeah.
burning them, nailing the mail slot shut.
Taking them all to that shack on the rock. It's almost funny, but also desperate.
Utterly desperate. It shows how powerless they are against this force they don't understand. The wizarding world is coming for Harry, whether they like it or not.
Their denial is just hitting a brick wall.
It's their last stand against reality, and it's crumbling.
And then the inevitable arrival. With a bang. Literally.
The storm, the knocking getting louder, Vernon with his rifle.
And
Boom! Hagrid bursts in.
yeah, the door just blasted off its hinges. And Hagrid is just immense. Wild hair, beetle black eyes. He just fills the space.
He's the embodiment of everything they fear. Magic, the unknown. His arrival shatters their illusion completely.
Why Hagrid, do you think? Why him specifically?
Well, he represents that connection, that warmth from the magical world that Harry needs. And he's direct, isn't he? No beating around the bush.
Not at all. He just tells Harry straight up, "You're a wizard. Your parents didn't die in a car crash. They were murdered by Voldemort."
It's a massive revelation, tearing down 11 years of lies in, like, an instant.
And explaining the scar finally, the result of Voldemort's killing, curse failing.
Hagrid then opens the door to this whole other world. The Ministry of Magic, witches, wizards, living hidden alongside muggles.
A total paradigm shift for Harry. And for us, really, learning alongside him.
Absolutely. It's that huge aha moment. Everything strange suddenly clicks into place. This is Harry stepping into his real life, his destiny.
Okay, so Hagrid takes him away, and their first stop is Diagon Alley.
Through the leaky cauldron first, hidden away in London.
And the reaction inside? Everyone is stunned to see Harry Potter as Daedalus Diggle dropping his hat, Doris Crockford shaking his hand over and over.
It's such a contrast, isn't it? From the Dursleys' coldness to this instant warmth and, well, fame. He belongs here.
People know him. They know his story. It must have been overwhelming.
A huge validation after years of being treated like nothing.
And the alley itself, wow, just packed with wonders.
Oh, it's a feast for the senses, isn't it? The apothecary smells, the owls hooting, shops full of robes, telescopes, spell books.
Quills, parchment, potion ingredients. It makes the magic so tangible.
And then Gringotts, that huge white building.
Yeah.
Run by goblins.
It immediately feels ancient, maybe a bit intimidating.
Definitely. There's a sense of serious magic there. And Hagrid collecting that little grubby package from Vault 713.
Very mysterious. He's clearly doing something secret for Dumbledore. It piques your curiosity right away.
And Harry finding out he has his own vault, his own money, another connection to the world he never knew.
Then they go shopping for school stuff, which includes that awkward first meeting with Malfoy.
Malfoy, straight away with the arrogance and the prejudice against Muggleborns, sets up that rivalry immediately.
But Harry also learns more from Hagrid about Quidditch, about how wizards see muggles.
Broadening his understanding, filling in the gaps.
And then the big one, Ollivanders, getting his wand.
Such a key moment. The idea that the wand chooses the wizard. It's fundamental.
And Harry tries several, with chaotic results, before finding the one.
Polly and Phoenix Feather. And Ollivander reveals the connection its brother Wand gave Harry his star, Voldemort's wand.
Chilling, in Ollivander's words. "We expect great things from you, Mr. Potter."
Ominous, almost.
So much foreshadowing packed into that one scene. It's heavy with meaning.
Harry leaves Diagon Alley completely bewildered, probably, but also excited.
Yeah, Hagrid gives him his ticket, reassures him a bit, but he has to go back to the Dursleys briefly before King's Cross.
Which must have been weird. That transition back, knowing what he knows now. He's caught between two worlds, isn't he? Not quite belonging to either one fully yet.
And then King's Cross. Platform 9 3/4. The Dursleys are just baffled.
Hilariously baffled. They just abandon him, basically.
But he figures it out with a little help and runs at the barrier and makes it through.
That's his real crossing over, isn't it?
Yes.
Stepping fully into the wizarding world.
And immediately he meets the Weasleys, especially Ron.
Ah, the Weasleys.
Hmm.
So important. They represent that warmth, that family, that acceptance he's craved.
Ron becomes his first real friend. Grounded, loyal, a bit insecure maybe, but real.
Yeah, they click pretty fast on the Hogwarts Express.
And we meet others on the train too. Hermione Granger.
Bursting in, already knowing spells. A bit bossy at first, perhaps.
Definitely. And poor Neville Longbottom, who's lost his toad tribber.
Right away, you get the core group forming. Plus, wizarding sweets, chocolate frogs, Bertie Bott's every flavor beans.
And the famous witches and wizards cards. Harry gets Dumbledore.
And Malfoy shows up again, being unpleasant. The rivalry continues.
So those train encounters really set up the key relationships and conflicts for his school years.
Absolutely. Friends, rivals, people who will challenge him.
And then, the first sight of Hogwarts.
Breathtaking, isn't it? That castle across the dark lake, towers, turrets, magical.
The boat journey across the lake adds to the atmosphere, arriving at the huge oak front doors.
And Professor McGonagall is there to meet them. Stern, but you sense she's fair.
Hogwarts itself feels ancient, powerful, a real sense of history and magic.
It's his new home, the place he finally belongs.
Then comes the sorting ceremony in the Great Hall, the Sorting Hat singing its song.
All the first years are so nervous, Harry especially. The whole school is watching.
And the hat takes ages considering him. Talks about Slytherin.
Harry's just thinking, not Slytherin, not Slytherin.
And finally, Gryffindor.
Huge relief for him, and it puts him with Ron and eventually Hermione.
Why is the sorting so crucial beyond just house placement?
It defines his primary community. But the hat, considering Slytherin, hints at that inner complexity, that potential darkness. It shows his choices matter. It's not predetermined.
Right. Then the welcome feast. Incredible food appearing magically.
A symbol of the abundance and community he's found compared to the Dursleys.
And he gets his first proper look at the teachers. Dumbledore, Quirrell looking nervous.
Snape.
Oh yeah.
They.
Let's get into the first few days. Navigating the castle is tricky.
Moving staircases, Keeves of the poltergeist making trouble, Filch the caretaker and his awful cat, Mrs. Norris.
Einclass's start. Charms with tiny Professor Flitwick. Transfiguration with McGonagall. History of magic with the ghost, Professor Binns.
Which sounds incredibly boring.
Probably was. And then potions. With Snape.
And Snape takes an instant dislike to Harry. It's immediate and really unfair.
Asking him questions he couldn't possibly know the answers to. Trying to humiliate him.
It sets up this major antagonistic relationship right away. Very unsettling for Harry, and makes you wonder why. What's Snape's deal?
Yeah, it's a big question mark early on. Then news arrives about a break-in at Gringotts.
On Harry's birthday, the same day he and Hagrid were there, and Vault 713, the one Hagrid emptied, was the target.
Suspicious, right? It plants that seed. What was Hagrid moving?
And then they accidentally find Fluffy, the three-headed dog.
Guarding a trapdoor on the forbidden third floor. Another piece of the puzzle.
These things start connecting. The break-in, the dog, the packet Hagrid moved. Something valuable is hidden in the school.
Meanwhile, Harry discovers he's amazing at flying. During that chaotic first lesson where Neville gets hurt.
Malfoy steals Neville's Remembrall. Harry flies after him, makes this incredible catch.
And McGonagall sees it. Instead of punishing him, she makes him the Gryffindor Seeker.
The first-year Seeker. Unheard of. Fred and George Weasley are blown away.
It shows his natural talent, his connection to magic, sets him apart again. McGonagall sees something special.
Definitely. Then comes Halloween and the troll.
Right, Quirrell bursts in, yelling about a troll in the dungeons. Panic ensues.
But Harry and Ron realize Hermione doesn't know she's upset in the girls' bathroom.
So they go after her and end up accidentally locking the troll in the bathroom with her.
It forces them to work together. Harry's bravery. Ron's. Well, Ron manages to knock it out with its own club, using the levitation charm Hermione taught them.
And Hermione lies to the professors to protect them. Takes the blame. That seals their friendship, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That shared danger, her sacrifice.
Right.
That's when they become the trio, even though they lose points for it.
Then Harry's first Quidditch match. Gryffindor versus Slytherin. Huge deal.
And his broom starts acting crazy, trying to buck him off.
Hermione spots Snape across the stands, muttering, staring intently at Harry. She thinks he's jinxing the boom.
So she sneaks over and sets Snape's robes on fire to break his concentration. which is pretty bold.
Totally. And somehow, in the chaos, Harry catches the snitch by swallowing it.
Ugh, yeah. But Gryffindor wins, and their suspicion of Snape gets even stronger. They think he's after whatever Fluffy's guarding.
The match really moves that plot forward, linking Snape directly to danger against Harry.
Yeah, and showing Hermione's fierce loyalty.
Christmas comes, and Harry stays at Hogwarts with Ron and the twins. He gets actual presents.
Including the invisibility cloak. Anonymous gift. Use it well. Turns out it was his father's.
Which is huge, and exploring at night with the cloak, he finds the mirror of Arise.
And sees his parents, his whole family, standing there with him. It's incredibly powerful. Heartbreaking, really.
It shows his deepest desire, doesn't it? To have his family back.
While Ron sees himself as head boy, Quidditch captain, showing his desires, maybe his insecurities compared to his brothers, or even Harry.
Dumbledore finds Harry there eventually and explains the mirror, warns him against wasting away in front of it.
A really important lesson about dwelling on the past or unobtainable dreams. Live your life.
So, after Christmas, the search is on. Who is Nicholas Flamel? Hagrid mentioned the name.
They finally find him in a library book. He's the alchemist who made the Philosopher's Stone.
The stone makes gold, grants immortality. Suddenly, it all clicks. That must be what Fluffy's guarding.
And they're convinced Snape is trying to steal it. Probably for Voldemort.
Hagrid accidentally lets slip that music calms Fluffy down. Another clue.
The stakes just went way up. This isn't just some magical object. It's the key to immortality.
Then they get detention. In the Forbidden Forest. At night. With Hagrid.
And they find a dead unicorn. Or dying. And see a hooded figure drinking its blood.
Terrifying. Firenze the Centaur rescues Harry, tells him it was Voldemort trying to stay alive using unicorn blood.
Firenze warns Harry the forest isn't safe for him. Confirms Voldemort is lurking, getting stronger.
And there's that conflict with Bane, the other centaur, about interfering with fate, with what's written in the stars. Adds a layer of mystique.
Yeah, it confirms the threat is real, it's Voldemort, and he's active.
So putting it all together, they're sure Snape is about to make his move for the stone.
And Harry decides they have to stop him. They have to get to the stone first.
Which leads them down the trapdoor, past Fluffy, who they put to sleep with music, thanks Hagrid.
Then, through all those obstacles, Dumbledore and the teachers set up.
The Devil's Snare, which Hermione deals with using light. The flying keys, Harry's seeker skills come in handy.
The giant chessboard, where Ron plays brilliantly but has to sacrifice himself so Harry and Hermione can go on.
Such a powerful moment of friendship and bravery from Ron.
Totally. Then Hermione solves Snape's potion puzzle, the logic test, allowing Harry to go through the final fire.
Each challenge really highlights one of their strengths, doesn't it?
Yeah, they couldn't have done it alone. It shows how much they need each other. Hermione's brains, Ron's strategy and heart, Harry's nerve.
So Harry goes into the final chamber, expecting Snape, but finds Quirrell.
Professor Quirrell, the nervous, stuttering defense against the dark arts teacher. Huge twist.
And Quirrell admits he let the troll in, he tried to kill Harry at the Quidditch match. Snape was actually trying to save him.
Mind blown. And Quirrell can't get the stone from the Mirror of Reist. Dumbledore's enchantment is too clever.
Only someone who wants to find the stone, not use it, can get it.
Then Quirrell unwraps his turban, and Voldemort is on the back of his head, sharing his body. Horrifying.
Voldemort tells Quirrell to use Harry to get the stone.
And when Harry looks in the mirror, wanting only to keep the stone from Voldemort, he sees his reflection putting it in his pocket and feels it actually appear there.
Dumbledore's magic worked perfectly, but now Quirrell attacks him.
But Harry's touch burns Quirrell's skin. He can't bear to be touched by Harry.
Voldemort's spirit flees, leaving Quirrell to die. Harry passes out.
It's intense. And the burning touch? What was that?
Dumbledore explains it all later, in the hospital wing. It was his mother's love. Her sacrifice left a mark, a protection against Voldemort.
Ancient magic. Powerful stuff. Dumbledore also reveals the stone has been destroyed, so Voldemort can't use it.
But Voldemort isn't gone. He's still out there, weakened again, but waiting.
The end-of-year feast arrives, and it looks like Slytherin has won the House Cup.
But wait, Dumbledore awards last-minute points. To Ron, for the chess game. To Hermione, for her logic. To Harry, for his nerve and bravery.
And even 10 points to Neville for standing up to his friends.
Which pushes Gryffindor into the lead. They win the House Cup. Amazing moment.
A great end to a crazy year. Then Harry has to go back to the Dursleys for the summer.
But he knows he'll be back. Hogwarts is his home now.
So, wrapping up Harry's first year, What are the main takeaways?
Well, it's this incredible journey of discovery, right? Finding out who he is, where he belongs, making real friends for the first time.
And facing down pure evil, discovering the power of love and sacrifice that protects him. Voldemort's defeated for now, but the stage is set.
Yeah, looking back, it's amazing how those early, almost random, strange events, the owls, the cat, the whispers, were all leading somewhere huge.
They were the threads pulling him towards his destiny. The hints of his magic, the mystery of the stone, it all built up so deliberately.
Even the smallest details mattered, laying that foundation for everything to come.
Absolutely. It makes you appreciate the careful construction of the story right from page one.
So, thinking about all those little moments, all the clues and near misses, what single point in that first year do you think was the most pivotal, the one moment that really set his future path?
Hmm, that's a tough one. Maybe getting the wand, or the sorting, or even that first encounter with Voldemort via Quirrell. What other little details might we have overlooked that could hold deeper meaning now? This first dive is just the beginning, really. What else about this world makes you curious?